What is going on, everyone? Welcome back on Blockgems. I'm Marco and thanks for tuning in. So if you've been following this channel for a while, you might know already that on Blockgems we like to look at the NFT space from the quantitative perspective. So looking at things a little bit, having more data, quantitative data at hand. And if you like this kind of approach, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and also join the Discord in the link down below in the description. So the purpose of this video, guys, is to investigate one question together with you. So we have seen a lot of blood in the market during the last couple of weeks. We have seen a very strong downturn, lots of fear. So the sentiment is really, really bad right now for the entire crypto space. But the good question to ask right now is, how is the NFT space affected by this downturn? Are we suffering also in the NFT space, or are the NFT tokens acting as a store of value, as a collectible that can store value in Ether terms without suffering too much during this downturn? And this is what we're going to explore together. So starting from this chart here, at the beginning of December, we were basically at all-time high, and then the reality basically hit, and these expectations, these big dreams of having Bitcoin at 100K became evident that could not possibly materialize, and also the idea that we could see an Ether at 8K was not there anymore. And so again, what is happening during this period in the Ether, in the NFT space? So one thing that I wanted to do was to go to the top NFT ranking here on OpenSea and pick not just any project and not the gaming projects, because the gaming narrative is rather recent and it has seen a lot of gyrations in price, a lot of price volatility, and a lot of exuberance as well. But look at the more stable collections and the collections that have been sort of established named in the business for a while, and see how they've been performing in order to get a more objective idea of what was going on. And so I took a look to the Bored Apes, to the Mutants, the Doodles, and the Cool Cats. And these are rather famous brands in the space. And didn't look at CryptoPunks because the data availability that I have today is not that great. But let's look at the Bored Apes. So we're looking at a floor price of 52, and the volume is super healthy. It's literally people are buying and selling the same way as they were back in October. So there is no fear to trade. This is important to state. And on average, this project has been trending upward. And this is super, super valuable to keep in mind, because on average, in the last week or 2 weeks, this project has been trending upwards, not downwards in price. And if we go and look at more granular data here on Mobi, what we see is that when people are transacting close to the floor price, they're always transacting, and they've always been transacting through the past week, around 50. So this is the minimum price point. This has always been the minimum price point, and it's been rather stable around this number. Okay, of course, there have been fluctuations of how these floor prices have been moving, but we're talking about 5% fluctuations, 6% fluctuations. Not that big of a deal, especially if you think about the fact that you are in the NFT space, where a 20% fluctuation is something that happens every day. So this is one collection, but also if we go and check the Mutants, which is, if you didn't know, this is a derivative project from the Bored Apes, we are seeing a tendency that is not that different. So people are trading as much as they did before. If anything, this is stable, if not upward sloped. And when we go and look at the data granularly, we see a very similar phenomenon that we are seeing for the Bored Apes, maybe a slight downward correction in floor price. But again, nothing really concerning. Now, the good news, and here, guys, because we will look at other collections and we will see that many other collections are not doing fine. And the reason why I want to stress on this point is because there is a theory in the NFT space that when Ether goes bad, when Ether decreases in prices, then we see an upward sloping trend in the NFT space. And that was also my theory, and I've been reasoning about this topic for a while, but that is not always the case. What is almost certain by now is that when Ether really skyrockets, then NFTs don't do well. So when Ether really appreciates very sharply, then NFTs don't do well. But in very uncertain markets, some collections do well, and we've seen a couple that do, but many others, as we would see, don't do that well. And some of these collections are, for instance, even other derivatives of the Bored Ape Yacht Club family, the Bored Ape Kennel Club. This project has been trending downwards in average price and also in floor price. And this is a pretty clear perspective. So from 2.8, 2.9 to 2.5, 2.6, right? And we are right now staring at 2.5 floor price. And also other projects that had a pretty reputable brand, pretty reputable name in the NFT space, such as the Doodles, have not been doing very well. The average price has been going down with volumes really in the trash can, guys. And this is really important. Why? Because it means that people tend to have more fear to trade rather than in the past months. And if we go and look at the price points, we are looking right now, as we saw, at a 2.25, and 1 week ago we were at 2.6, 2.9, then the prices have been going down. Now we're 2.3, 2.5, okay, but you get the general trend, the general idea of how the floor price has been moving. And another interesting point, guys, is that in particular for the Doodles, the sentiment is really destroyed right now. And this is a custom chart that I wanted to build specifically for you guys. So stick with me, because this chart here is nothing that you can find anywhere else. And the reason why this chart is important is because it tells you that people are listing their NFTs, in particular in this case the Doodles, at a price point that is in the middle of the pack together with where everyone is transacting at, which basically means that people are rushing for exit liquidity. If I'm listing a token for 2.25 as this one, that has this level of rarity, as you can see here, there is a rarity score, that has this level of rarity, and yesterday or already this morning, we have seen many tokens selling out at the same price point, if not even higher, for prices that are very similar to this one. So basically, we are seeing tokens that have been sold at a very low rarity score and the same price level, and you're selling something at a higher rarity score and the same price level. It means that you want the cash. It means that you want the money. And so many of these deals are occurring right now. So many of these listings are occurring right now. So basically, again, what we're seeing here, if you are a Doodle collector, don't hate me, but we're seeing very poor sentiment for this token, which means that if you love the project, probably this is the best moment to invest in it. But the sentiment right now for this project is really low. And another project that is not doing fantastic, in spite of its name, is the Cool Cats. We are seeing the average price going down. Volumes are also being reducing. And we are staring right now at a 7 Ether floor price. And we are at 8, 8.75, 8.6, 8.2 just a week ago. And the trend is rather clear right now. So, guys, the main idea here is to have an overview on some of the most important projects in the NFT space that are not gaming, but that are more in the collectible space, that have been around for a while, and see how they are performing and see how this downward trend affected the entire space. So mixed results. And this goes in the direction that I've mentioned multiple times on this channel, that people are seeking for quality now, quality and utility now. Are the two items, that the two sort of drivers, the two primitives that they are searching for the most. When it comes to quality, you might want to go toward the biggest brands possible, like the punks, like the apes, that really were defining names of the NFT space. And when it comes to utility, you don't want to hold on just to a nice JPEG, just a nice PFP. And some projects inevitably will struggle to deliver all these utilities. So this is a moment for being cautious, but it's also a moment, if you believe in a project, if you think that a project has extremely good fundamentals, this could be a great moment to invest. Maybe only second to another moment, the moment where we will see Ether really running strong, really having a crazy rally. Also in that moment, we might have the greatest opportunities when it comes to the NFT space to invest in the best projects of what we believe are the projects with the best prospects. Thank you guys for tuning in, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.